Hello everyone. Today we are going to look at the relationship between special right triangles and the unit circle. How we are going to start is please figure out x and y for these two special right triangles. If you're having a hard time, please review the videos we posted on Schoology reviewing special right triangles for geometry. So now please pause, do that, resume, and I will put down the answers. Okay, if you've done that, you've determined x is the square root of 2 over 2, root 2 over 2, and so is y, because this is an isosceles triangle. And now for our second triangle, y equals 1/2, and x equals the square root of 3 divided by 2. And it's important to leave these in simplified radical form. Please do not put them in decimals. Now we are going to continue with the unit circle. Remember, the unit circle is a circle with a radius of 1, and that circle is on x and y, and these are points. When we talk about coordinates, they're points that we're plotting that lie on the circle. So this point here is 1, 0, because we're going over 1 unit and we're not going up at all. Same with this point right here on top at 90 degrees. It's 0, 1, because we're not moving to the right or left at all, we're going up 1. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place these special right triangles that we have before, and I'm just going to place them on the circle. So the first thing I'm going to do is just put this 30, 60, 90 triangle right on my circle. And all I'm doing is taking that special right triangle and I'm just putting it on my circle. And now that's 30 degrees here. But for the unit circle, you see it written. We write the angle that would be at the center, at the origin, and it's placed on the outside. So now what we're doing is we're figuring out if we were to plot this point, what would be my units, how many over and how many up? What would be my x and y coordinate? And we figured that out here above with special right triangles because we can see we're going over root 3 over 2, and then we're going up for y 1/2. That's where those coordinates are coming from. And then if you think about it, if I take that same triangle and I just flip it, now I have my 60 degrees here. 30 would be up here. Here's 60 degrees. And it's flipping. So now I'm going over 1/2 and up root 3 over 2. Because it's that same 30, 60, 90 triangle. We're just looking at it rotated a little bit. So the other triangle I'm going to place on this circle is my 45, 45, 90. And we already figured that out above as well. So that's going to be right in the middle. Okay. And now here's going to be my 45 degrees. And to determine those side lengths, we already did that above. So my radius is still 1, because for all of these, the radius will be 1. And now we went over root 2 over 2. Oops, I'm writing a 3 and I'm saying 2. So it's over root 2 over 2. And up, that's my y coordinate, root 2 over 2. And we can remember that that's an isosceles triangle, so x and y have to be the same for those. These are the key points we need to be able to fill out a complete unit circle. So this is the first quadrant, and the first quadrant is really all you need to know. Every year we're asked, do I need to memorize the unit circle? And really my answer is you need to understand where it comes from. Eventually you will have it memorized, but if you understand special right triangles and where all of these numbers are coming from, it's not just a blind memorization. And I'm going to fill out the complete unit circle on the next page. I'm going to do part of it, you're going to do part of it and then you're going to check your answers. So on the next page, this is a complete unit circle. And what I mean by understanding where the numbers come from, where I'm going to start is, what can I write in? Let's start with black. This is 0 here. And 1 revolution all the way around the unit circle is also 360 degrees. 0 degrees, 360 degrees. Then we have 90 degrees. I'm going to just do degrees right now. 180 degrees. 270 degrees. And then also we can do our x and y coordinates. So right here we have 1, 0. And what I mean by that is if we go, this is just x and y. So if I go over 1, I'm not going up at all. So that's where I'm getting 0 from. And so here we have 0, 1. And then we have -1, 0. And then 0, -1. Now I'm going to start with the 30-degree angles. So this was 30 degrees because that was my kind of dotted in here. That was the triangle. That 30, 60, 90 triangle, and we labeled it with a 30 degrees. And we found with special right triangles, the coordinates of this point would be √3/2, comma 1/2. And now I'm thinking what I know about reflections. If I reflect that point over the y-axis, I'm going to have, now my x value becomes negative, but my y value is still positive. So I'm going to have -√3/2, comma 1/2. I'm going to have you go through after and fill out all the degrees because you've done that before. And now if I reflect that point down, I'm just thinking x and y and what I know about my quadrants. That will be here. This will be -√3/2. And now my y value is also negative. -1/2. And then if I reflect that in my fourth quadrant, I have a positive x value, √3/2, and a negative y value, -1/2. I'm going to fill out the rest of the first quadrant, and what I would like you to do is go through and fill out the rest of the unit circle and then check your answers. We had our 45-degree angle here, and that was √2/2, comma √2/2. And then our 60-degree angle here, 1/2 √3/2. Now it's your turn. Please fill out the rest of the unit circle, include the degrees and all the coordinates all the way around. When you're done, resume the video and check your work. Here is a completely filled out unit circle. Please check your work. What I'd like you to do now is pause the video and try to add all of the radians that correspond with the degree measurements. Here is a complete unit circle with degrees, radians, and all of the coordinates. Please check all of your numbers carefully because many of them are very similar.